Hello everyone, we're here and we are live. The Merseyside Derby is tonight. We're here in the studio. We were going to be live about an hour ago. It was a thing. Technology is basically shit. But yeah, anyway, that may have sapped some of Chris's enthusiasm for the match tonight, as he's basically been banging his head off a computer screen since then. But it's not sapped any of mine. I am thoroughly buzzing for this game. Obviously, we've done the Uncensored Match Build-Up Show, which you can watch. Done the starting 11, which you can watch. We've done the Pro Evo Predictor, which you can watch. But with the game looming this evening, I thought we'd sit down and have a little chat about how we're feeling on Derby Day itself. For those who are unaware, Chris, explain what Derby belly is.
It's that feeling in the stomach. It's a nervousness. It's a horrible, horrible nervousness. Like you need the biggest poop ever.
So be interesting if anyone's watching that. Are you experiencing Derby belly right now? I woke up. Actually, you know what? Similarly, life gets in the way often. But yeah, I had a very, very poor night's sleep because children. So I wasn't feeling tipped off on. But all weekend I've been absolutely buzzing for this one, particularly because of just the way the weekend's gone. We now know how everyone else around us has played and performed, and I think particularly seeing how Arsenal have melted down and knowing that we've seen how our fan base have reacted to stuff in recent weeks, I think it adds an extra and even more of a spice to it, Chris, that we said this about, like, and you said it just before we went live, we're playing for Christmas here. I can't be arsed with us not winning this game, or at least I can't be arsed with us losing this game.
Yeah, I saw my brother yesterday, and we've already put a no football chat rule in because we're both panicking about the other one winning. So yeah, I mean, if Liverpool win, that's not going to happen. It's my house. I'll talk about what the heck I want to talk about. If they win, he won't be getting Christmas dinner with me.
He'll be sitting in another room. That'll be self-imposed, I'd imagine.
He'll be sitting in the shed that we built together 2 weeks ago, on top of a bike.
It's interesting. Someone actually tweeted in a picture just then of your brother's face from the Kick TV.
There's loads of them. Like, all asking, isn't my brother? It's a payjack. He's from Liverpool. We're family. It's guaranteed.
He's got the dimples as well. It's defo a payjack. I'm really keen for us to just do what we got to do. If I'd known it was going to take us this long to set the live stream, I'd have finished watching Klopp's pre-Everton press conference. As it was, I watched the first 5 or so minutes, and it was really interesting, some of the stuff that came out of it, and the way he talked about how, he said a bit where he said, I've said in the past, football's not the most important thing in life, and then he kind of smiles and goes, but in Liverpool, absolutely spot on, because exactly what we're talking about here. This is something that a lot of people, Liverpool are a worldwide club with a worldwide fan base, and I think a lot of people get it, but there's something inherent about living in Liverpool and knowing people that you see face to face on a daily basis and just be arsed. Yeah, exactly what you're saying there with your brother. Be arsed to face up to the fact that it's bad enough. I've got an uncle who's a Man United fan, and Christmas is bad enough. Mercifully, they're not very good anymore, but for 20 odd years of them being the best team in the country was very difficult at Christmas.
It's the thing is, I think what makes Liverpool and Everton derby special, apart from it being the best derby, and to watch, it's the best derby to watch as well, is that there are no religious or cultural differences between Liverpool and Everton fans. Whereas, so let's say you might go to Glasgow, an incredible derby, but there's such differences in those people, they probably don't mix together in social circles, whereas we do, because there's nothing that divides us apart from our football team, and there's no sort of reason for that, is there? So you're either a blue or you're a red. Everything else in Liverpool just carries on as normal until this week, until this day, when everything is just set aside, when you don't speak to the other lot until the game's over, because you're scared of saying something that you might regret. You're scared of putting something on social media that you might regret nowadays as well. And it's just so horrible. I'm just so glad we can come and sit in this room and just be, let the Liverpool memorabilia flow over us, because some people have to go to offices and that'd be crap. Yeah. We get to see this all day.
Absolutely. One thing is just a few people tweeting and asking, devastated we're not going the game tonight. I got to go to my first Goodison derby last season with the 1-1 draw. Brendan Rodgers' last game in charge, a pretty historic event as it turned out. Gutted, yeah, we couldn't get tickets, but theoretically he's currently on his way. Joel from Cheeky Sport is going to be doing a little bit of a takeover of the Redmen channel. He's going to be going down to Goodison later on and doing what Cheeky Sport do best, presumably getting professional footballers to sign pop bottles or something like. But yeah,
Emre Can can.
Emre can. Yeah, so stay tuned for that, and that will be doing a live watch along stream if you're interested. We'll be here from about 15 minutes before kick-off later on, and also obviously we'll be manning the social media like hell for leather in the coming hours as well. Keep some thoughts, because if you've got anything you want to ask us about the derby, or anything you want to ask about life, the universe, or anything in general, do so in the comments alongside Chris. Has got his phone right there. He's either still trying to buy me a Christmas present, or he's got comments.
I've got comments.
Well, fuck comments, Chris. Christmas is good.
Well, do you not want me to read this comment then? Or do you want me to read it? Because I'll move on to the next one.
I thought about comments.
What comment? Listen, you'll either want to know or you won't want to know this comment.
Well, go for
Are you going for it?
Go ahead.
Intellectual inspiration. I think Paul Machin is sexpot personified.
That's weird. Thanks.
Ben Mole, breaking news. Wijnaldum is better than Barkley. It's hardly breaking. Come on. Perry Harrison, how long's the stream on for?
No.
Not sure.
I don't like any of this. Sorry, just to wind that one back. Ross Barkley has been below his own high standards that we've seen from him.
You did a big bit 2 weeks ago on the Umbu about sacking this off because I said something along the similar vein. So don't go back on it now. Have the courage of your convictions.
Yeah, you're right. Ross Barkley shit. I love Ross Barkley. I really. We were talking about this. I did the Anfield rap at City Talk on Friday, and it was something we said off air. I'd love us to put a bid in for Ross Barkley. I'd love Jurgen to get his little beer-soaked, nicotine-stained mitts on Ross Barkley and turn him into a player.
Bing Bosch, channel Wijnaldum.
Sorry, I think it's channel Wijnaldum. I was basically going to twat around, get into dangerous positions and fuck things up. Right, no, Chan or Wijnaldum. Okay, those who watched the Pro Even Predictor will know I backed Gini Wijnaldum, and it worked perfectly. Here's a little insight. I played the game, I got 85 minutes in and the laptop crashed. So I lost all of the recordings. At that point I was 2-0 up thanks to a Gini Wijnaldum brace. And I brought all the kids on to troll the blue shite. It didn't happen that way the second time around. So yeah, I'm all in on Gini Wijnaldum. What about you?
I think if Chan's fit enough to play 90 minutes, I'd play Chan. But if there's a doubt about it, I just don't think, with the possibility of red cards, crazy tackles and injuries and all that type of stuff that go with this game, if he's not good enough to go for the full 90 minutes, don't play him. Yeah. So I honestly don't know, because you can't make a decision based... If I'm making a decision based on that, and I'll never know.
It's interesting because I think you've done some stuff on the weekend briefing on these kind of things, based on the eyeball test of things, is that I think Emre Can's a lot more effective at both ends of the pitch. I think he's more solid defensively and he's scoring goals. But I wonder whether... I don't think it's any accident that the best football we play... It feels like we play a better all-round style of football when Wijnaldum's in there, because I think he does. I think he actually does the stuff
in the middle third.
A lot more smoother. His transitions a lot smoother, and he's quite liquid. He's got a great little touch. He's got a nice little turn of pace and stuff like that.
I think that's right. I think even when you sat in the ground and you're watching them, when you sat there watching Wijnaldum, he looks a neat and tidy player. Emre Can can still infuriate me at the game, whereas Wijnaldum doesn't infuriate me. Yeah. He picks the ball up in positions where I don't expect him to keep the ball, and he holds them off with his strength, whereas Can can get himself into a little bit of trouble when you're watching him live. Yeah. So, yeah, you're probably right there. I've not thought about it like that.
Yeah, interesting. Got any more?
Yeah, I got loads, mate. Use Sturridge as a super sub, and Can will get a red, no doubt, from Sean Maloney.
Know anything about anything like that? Does anyone know any news? I wish I kind of caught the end of the press conference now, but... the last I saw, there were a number, like Matip, Chan and Sturridge were all doubts. If you could get all three of them available for this, I imagine that a bit of a...
I'm just going to go... Is the comment box working, Tom? One sec, I'm going to sort the comment box.
You carry on. Okay, cool. Yeah, if anyone knows anything about whether or not the those three players are going to be available for tonight, whether you've heard anything through the grapevine, through Twitter or whatever, I've been in. We've got it's not a tradition as such, but it could be like a family thing of having a fake Christmas the week before. It's a divorced family thing apparently. My wife's family, it's a thing. So yeah, I've been knee deep in Christmas over the weekend, so I've not really followed what's been going on. But yeah, if anyone knows where those players will be available, because yeah, we saw it actually. Daniel Sturridge, God, this is probably going back like 4 seasons. Merseyside Derby, he had been injured in the build-up and he was on the bench and he came off the bench to score. Was it equaliser?
Sturridge is this?
Having someone like that, having someone like Daniel Sturridge available to us on the subs bench actually could be a massive difference in a game like this, because I got no problem with Origi starting and Origi leading the line or putting Origi out, whatever. But I don't really want Ben Woodburn to be chucked in. But again, sink or swim. Helps you to judge whether a player could ultimately be good enough or not. I don't know, but it'd be nice to have someone like Sturridge in there.
Definitely, the guy's experienced, isn't he? And you know, we saw it was last season when he came on against, was it West Ham as a substitute and scored as well? Maybe I think
that might have been the season. I mean, he might have done it last season, but I remember he did that when he had that. When we sent him off to be America under Rodgers to be fixed.
Yeah, it was the year before, wasn't it? And he can do a job from the substitute bench, can't he? Because he's a clever footballer, and I think if he's on the sidelines and he's looking at it and going, right, where can I pick the weaknesses in this team? I think he's a clever enough guy to come onto the field and see, like, oh look, he's a little bit slow, or he's susceptible to this type of turn and what. And he's a clever footballer. He gets instantly involved, and you can normally tell. I think I can tell within 5 minutes whether Sturridge is up for a game and he's going to score or not.
Yeah.
He'll be bang up for this because he doesn't like being out of the team, and that's the thing, I think, more than anything. He gets a little bit of bad press, but he friggin' hates it.
It seems unlikely. Someone pointed out, was it John who pointed out that he only played something like 26 minutes of football in December for Liverpool in his entire time at the club or something like that, so don't be surprised if he's not available. But there you go.
Conor Riordan, not strictly Derby related, but when Coutinho returns from his injury, given the form Origi is in, who do you drop from our attacking three, or does Coutinho play in a midfield role?
What show did we do this on last week? I want to say Reds News.
I think it was the Reds News
Reds transfer roundup. So yeah, it's a good question, and I kind of, as a top line, I kind of said, listen, and there's still a couple of games before Phil Coutinho's likely to be properly available. If Divock Origi continues to score a goal a game and we can get Firmino back ticking into a certain degree of form, we can start scoring a couple of goals or start assisting again. And Mane's still doing what he's doing, and Lallana's still doing what he's doing, and Wijnaldum's still playing all right. It's a big question to ask for the manager, because the logical thing is, look, the best football we've played, and we were battering teams with Firmino up front, Coutinho from the left, Mane from the right. But if Firmino's not in great form and Origi's banging goals in, and if he continues to improve his all-round play and his movement in that front three, could actually be Firmino that, you know, that I don't want to say, I think we'll see rotation, but I don't think it's as cut and dry as Origi gets bombed out and we go straight back to the front three that we had prior to Coutinho's injury.
It's an interesting one, isn't it? I think the main thing is, I would take it even a step further, and go, all right, Coutinho comes in when Mane goes to the African Cup of Nations, what's the front three then? Yeah. Because Firmino hasn't been great on the wing, and I don't think Coutinho's not going to play on the right wing.
No.
And from what we've seen so far, Origi ain't playing on the right wing. So that kind of leaves us Firmino to play on the right wing, who's not been great on the left wing.
Yeah.
So what's our front three then?
When does he go, do you know?
It's mid to late January, I think
we've still got a while.
We've got maybe 2 weeks with them together.
Yeah. We've got quite a few. It's probably like
six
matches, isn't it? So yeah. So it'd be interesting to tell. The thing is, right here, right now, I would, based on the last couple of games and with Origi, I wouldn't drop Origi because I think I'd be massively sliding him. I think there's one thing taking a guy out when, as we've seen with Karius, who's not in great form, but another thing to take a guy out who's in as good a form as any centre forward in terms of his goal scoring return. But that's it. Fortunately, that will be a wonderful problem to have. Hopefully, when the time comes around. Do you want to do one more?
Yeah, yes. Okay. Let me just find one because I saw a news update. intellectual inspiration. Sky Sports said Emre Can and Matip set to be past fit. They said nothing about Sturridge.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, I guess kind of Sturridge is weird. My expectations of Daniel Sturridge evaporate with every passing week, if I'm perfectly honest. But Matip being back would be a big one.
And well, let's end it on hopefully a positive, but although it's a negative comment, Khan Cahill or Sian Cahill, sorry mate. If we drop points tonight, our title challenge is fucked. We have an awful habit of dropping points when the team around us are dropping points as well.
That's not true. That's just not true. I mean, that might be okay. That might be historically true, but I think we've seen a lot of times, particularly this season, that we actually pick up points when rivals drop. But we did it the other week. We had a bad week because we dropped points. But it feels that way when you're top end of the table because top teams win more games than they lose. So inevitably there will be a little feeling about that. I think I agree in so much as the pressure's on when you're the last game of the weekend. Mm-hmm. Because you've seen what everyone's done and you know where you stand, so you know a win isn't going to take you top, and a defeat is going to keep you exactly where you are on the table. But then you start to think about how close you are then to teams below, blah blah blah. It'd be nice just to get it done. I'm not, things like that don't concern me so much as anything else. I just think we just go out and fucking win.
The thing for me is, we're not halfway into this season yet. All right, we're approaching
very close, but yeah.
We are, yeah. And you know, if Chelsea can get let's say we lose tonight, get a 9-point lead before halfway in the season, then we can claw 9 points back in the second half of the season. That's just the way that it works. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't say that the title challenge is over. I think, you know, if Chelsea were to lose a couple of games, they'd start feeling the pressure.
Everybody's desperate for this. Like, this game means title challenge over. Just wind it in. Honestly, wind it in.
Right now, the title challenge isn't important anyway. No, it's about beating Everton.
Merseyside Derby and about having a happy Christmas. The wind it in. It's no way to live. I'll just say it's absolutely no way to live. Is thinking that every game is cataclysmically the end of our season. It's not. Remember, again, I said this the other week. We finished 8th last season. Anything above that is an improvement. Anything inside the top 4 is a sensational improvement. And if we're able to stay within touching distance of the top 2 places in the Premier League throughout the rest of the season, that'll be amazing. And as we've already seen 2 weeks ago, Arsenal were absolutely sensational. They weren't quite in Chelsea kind of form, but they were playing some wonderful attacking football. They were beating teams they'd never been beaten before. They absolutely wiped the floor with the Champions League. They were right there. And then 2 defeats on the bounce. And now the sky's caving in at the Emirates, and that can happen at Chelsea, that can happen at us, it's happened at Man City. You know, 45 minutes into the game yesterday, City were the fucking worst thing on earth, and Guardiola was fucked. Now it's a Guardiola tactical masterclass, and Wenger's lost touch with footy.
Too much of this, not enough of this.
Just breathe and just relax and enjoy to the best of your ability, even though it's impossible to enjoy derbies unless you go 2 clear goals up with injury time.
You know what, you can enjoy it by coming and joining us on the watch along stream later on.
Make it as enjoyable as humanly possible by joining us, yes, on the watch along stream. We'll be here on the YouTube channel. We will embed it on our website as well.
Tom's not going to be here.
Shit. Tom will be a good. We will not therefore embed it on our website. Embed it on the website. Yeah, so if you ever struggling to find it, check us on the Twitter and check the redmentv.com as well. Subscribe as well. We've got Christmas specials galore coming up this week. More transfer news as and when it happens, and loads of post-derby reaction content, which hopefully will set us up for a sensational Christmas. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. Subscribe to the channel, give this video a thumbs up, comment below, and we'll see you later on tonight.